From the Figure 4 Online Studios in beautiful Bothell, Washington, exclusively at WrestlingObserver.com, you're listening to the Bryan and Vinny Show with your hosts, Bryan Alvarez and Big Vinny V.
All right, everybody, it's the Bryan Vinny Show. It is March 8, 2018. Figure4online.com/WrestlingObserver.com. Granny's going to be joining us here in a second. And then... what's that face for?
Nothing.
And then we've got the NXT show and Thursday night POTPOURRI, New Japan Anniversary show. A fine choice, if I do say so myself, the final two matches. I got a lot to say. No Cliff music today. He's big time in us. He's trying to actually make money off his talents instead of just giving us the music for free.
Bastard.
Need to have a talk with this young man. Well, we'll get him back. We'll work our way back into Cliff's good graces here. And that's it. So stand by, everybody. Let's get Granny here on the line. Well, here she is, Granny, joining us for a fun and exciting night of whatever.
It's Vinny's night.
It's Vinny's night.
Wow.
Yeah, it's your night, Vinny. It's a night that you get a story written about you and whatever your biggest
enemy is.
Enemy.
Or something.
Your biggest
Fear?
life opponent. We'll find out. I have no idea what this is all about. Yeah, your biggest life opponent. I can only imagine what Granny's got picked out for you. What's going on over there, Granny?
Oh, he can get started. There's the, I think, 34 or 43. I don't remember which one.
What is it, just questions?
Entries. No, they're supposed to pick what I'm talking about,
Oh, so they're supposed to guess what... oh, man, that's a double whammy.
Well, let me read this here for you, Bryan.
It's a contest.
Just to explain everything.
It's a contest, though.
Today on the B&V Show, we are having a contest. I wrote a wrestling story about Vinny. It is a three-part story. 3 parts. Guess what or who the subjects are.
It's a... so you have 3.
3 life opponents.
God, she couldn't even think of one this weekend. She came up with 3?
Actually, I have 4, but the 4th one, I don't know.
Everyone Hates Vinny is the name of the story.
Wow, this is crazy.
I might not have time for the last one.
But
Granny, you got all the time you need tonight.
Okay.
You got all the time you need. All right, well, let's get going, Vinny.
Well,
Granny, gotta ask a question, though.
What?
Because somebody asked me this question, and I answered, but I actually don't know the answer. I just presume the answer. Are you writing these by yourself, or do you have help from, like, a secret source?
Are you kidding? I haven't got any help.
Okay.
how dare you doubt her?
I mean, I presume that. No, Granny, hold on. I presume that, but somebody listened to the show, and they presumed that you had to have had help because it was so good.
I didn't have
I
any
stuck
help.
up for you, and I was right. All right, let's do this, Vinny.
Paul Sandman Weir, Vinny in a gauntlet match versus a carjacker, Bryan, and finally a donut.
Good 3.
So one physically assaulted you, one is the best friend you've ever had, and one is a really good food that you've never had a issue with, as far as I know.
Well, I'm going to try this thing here. You know how every week when there's a carryover, like we have 50 comments or whatever, we say we'll do some next week, and I always lose my place. I just realized that I can click over here and say, hide this. So hopefully,
Yeah?
I don't know if we're doing this for 2 weeks or not, but I'm going to click this button here.
Okay.
Now that we've read Paul's comment,
Man,
hopefully that will help me from nothing happened. Hide comment.
if only Facebook hadn't been
There it
around
is.
for a decade.
Right.
Okay, go
Edward Laredo. I can't wait till Granny writes the story, Ed versus Humility.
Oh, God.
I
I mean,
got it.
actually, that it would be his best opponent.
I'm going to have to do one on him, but I want a bunch of people sending me messages about him.
About Ed?
Oh, do you?
Oh, he's so excited.
Think twice. Think hard about that, Granny.
How about
Be
Ed
careful what
versus
you wish
size
for.
32 jeans? That's a good one, too.
Jeff Hawkins says, Vinny, Granny, and an overwhelming sense of ennui.
Huh?
It's an actual word. Should I look that up for you?
Yeah, do it.
Ennui, a feeling of listlessness and dissatisfaction arising from a lack of occupation or excitement.
He has he has 2 occupations. No excitement, but
Synonyms: boredom, tedium, lethargy, lassitude, weariness.
excuse me, lassitude.
That's what it says.
Let's see, steal that one. All right, what's next? This isn't Jeopardy.
Up next, we have John Pincus. Story about Vinny meeting Bridget at bowling, then their wedding, and it finishes when Vinny and Bridget visit Granny with a big plate of cookies.
Ooh, that sounds good.
How are any of these opponents?
I don't know. Granny, you ever had my wife's cookies?
No.
Well,
They're very good.
I'll have to change that soon.
I can confirm they're very good.
My wife makes so many cookies. In fact, she broke our oven. We had to get the oven repaired today.
Really?
The filament burned out. It actually popped, and there was a small fire. Just because she bakes cookies.
Dude, you keep eating those cookies, your filament's going to burn out.
It might.
Vinny, was it very expensive? Because my oven's gone.
Fortunately, no. It was all.
I mean, your oven's gone.
I don't have an oven. It isn't working.
Maybe your filament burned out.
Could be, yeah.
To answer your question, Brian, the landlord covered it, and B, the warranty covered it for him.
Oh, wow.
So it cost me nothing. I think it cost him nothing as well.
Why don't you call Paul, Granny? Isn't he your go-to guy when things break?
I know, but he's not an electrician.
Austin Winston says, I predict it will follow traditional 3-act storytelling structure with twists and turns, and the lesson is about family.
Skeptical of that.
Dean Porteous wants to know, is the story about wrestling and the subject is Vinny? This topic really confused people, I've noticed.
Hey, it's tough. I mean, if we hadn't done one already, I mean, or 2, actually. We've done 2, and people can't figure this out.
Yeah. Chicky Singer is the name.
Ryan from Cumberland.
Ha. Vinny sells his soul to the Illuminati in hopes of being a major superstar in pro wrestling. No. Actually,
No.
I don't want that at all. Somebody's sold to get out of pro wrestling. Hayden Phallic. Vinny's greatest enemy is living in his own home, Bridget's Cookies. I'm going to hide this, but first I'll click like. James Nassif. If the story is about Vinny, would it be dumb of me to guess that the subject is Vinny?
Yeah. That would be very dumb of
Are
me.
we going to keep going with this? Because I'm not sure this is a winner.
Well, let's just keep going and do a couple more, and then we'll just get going. Because I want to make sure Granny has time for all 4 of these. I promise.
Are we doing all 4 parts tonight?
Well, yeah, hell yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you want 2 weeks, Vinny?
Well,
We had 1 week for Granny, 1 week for me. This is your week.
I'm not the one who wrote a 4-part story.
Well, I got all night.
All right.
Wait a minute.
What do you got to do?
I don't want to do 2 weeks of it. This
Well,
one.
yeah, I said
Okay,
that, Granny.
all right.
We need a couple more of these.
I have a winner, but I'm not going to say anything till I'm all done.
All right. Excellent.
Sean A. Stewart says, Vinny, with Granny in his corner, battles the flu. Sean Mulligan.
This is falling off a cliff here. 2 more.
Vinny's skinny dipping adventures in Lake Pleasant.
What is everyone even talking about? 1 more.
Peter Smith says, Vinny, cookies, and his belief in the flat earth
All right.
theory.
All right, let's get going here, Granny. Let's do the wrestling report, and then we'll get onto the story.
Okay. Let's see. For
Damn.
one, I
Where's my
watched-
old explosion sound effect?
Do you have
I
the
watched-
sad noise? Sad trombone? I'm sorry, Granny, go ahead.
Man, she's going to write a 5th part of this story because you keep talking over her.
I know. Anyway, I watched Charlotte's first match.
What do you mean
And
her
then-
first match? Like her first match she ever had?
Yeah,
How do you know it was the first match she ever had?
because it said so.
Okay.
Okay. And then 205 Live.
What, are you going to tell us about the match or what?
Well, I just watched it.
What can you tell us who it was with or like a couple of
she won it.
details?
She won it.
Okay. Did she have an opponent?
Of course. I don't remember who it was, though.
It sounds like a hell of a match.
This is an amazing show already.
This show is
That's
crazy.
why I'm just saying. I just did that. I didn't want it as part of the story or anything.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay, 205 Live, Andrews versus Gulak. Now, was this a match to see who would be in WrestleMania?
Yeah, I believe this is one of the tournament matches, yes.
Yeah, well, it was a pretty good match, and there was a lot of stuff back and forth, and then Gulak got the headlock submission for the win.
Gulak got the headlock?
Yeah, I think, wasn't it?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
Oh, okay.
What would you rate that?
I gave that a 4.
Not very good.
Then I had an All-Star Wrestling August 30th, 1980.
Oh.
We were thinking of watching one of these All-Star Wrestlings, Granny.
Hansen versus Riviera.
Stan Hansen, I presume.
Stan, yeah.
Stan Hansen.
Yeah, there was elbow chops and head kicks and turnbuckles and all kinds of stuff. And then, but I forgot who won that one. I forgot who won it.
I'm going to bet Stan Hansen.
Yeah, my guess is Stan Hansen won that one, Granny.
Okay.
Did he hit a clothesline?
Probably.
The answer is
missed that
probably
one.
yes. Actually, yes.
Okay, I give that a 5.
5.
It's better than that Gulak headlock match.
Then I watched the 1994 WrestleMania Bret Hart versus Owen Hart.
Oh, that's a
Oh,
good one, yeah.
yeah.
That's a great match.
It was kind of a sad one, really.
Okay.
Because it's two brothers that turned on each other and fought.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is sad.
The match was sad, and because they were brothers, you know. And so there were headlocks and thrown out of the ring, dozens of 2 counts, arm twists, and Bret got his ankle hurt, and Owen kept working on it. One got kicked in the groin.
One of them?
Yeah,
I forget which one it was. Bret knocked
the
Owen
brothers. It was a heart.
into the steel post, jumped up on the rope, but Owen moved, so he landed on his tummy, as always they do. Put his knee in Bret's back for a backbreaker. Owen won. And the McMahon was one of the announcers.
Yeah, he was. What'd you give that match?
I give that one a 9.
Oh,
Wow.
Hey, Granny, don't mess around.
No.
Yeah, that was like a 5-star match back in the day, Granny.
Yeah. Then I watched a little bit about Andre the Giant. And that was it for that part.
Well, what did you see about Andre?
What can you tell us about Andre, besides the fact that he was a giant?
He's a giant. That's about all I can tell you. The announcer went up to his chest, and that was it. He was a short one, so sometimes I go in there just watch those just for.
You just look around and.
Okay,
Sure, yeah.
here we go. I've got to see which one I'm going to do first.
So there's 3 parts and they go in any order.
Just stick around, Vinny.
All right.
I want the one I wrote first. I'm going to do last.
It
Okay.
must be the best one.
Vinny comes out in his pink outfit that he wore.
Whoa.
Wasn't it pink?
No.
Remember his outfit that he used to wear?
It was gold.
Gold.
Oh, gold. That's
Gold
what I
velour.
said.
You're confusing him with Chris Ryzik.
Oh,
Which, I mean, when you look at the two of them, it's very
was?
easy to
Yes.
do. Yeah.
let's see. Come out in his outfit that he wore when he wrestled. He was looking forward to meeting people from his past and present. First came out the carjacker. He comes
What a great party.
Yeah, it sounds awesome.
He comes in and gave Vinny the keys to the car that he stole from him. Vinny got angry. He grabbed the carjacker and gave him an elbow to the nose.
Oh, man.
The carjacker got away, ran around the ring. Crowd loved it. Vinny caught him and threw him back into the ring, gave him a uppercut to the jaw and a leg lock submission, and held him till the police came to get him.
Wow.
So I won.
You did. You beat the carjacker.
Hooray.
Okay. The next
18
one,
years later, get my revenge.
Yeah.
Next one was the pickpocket. He comes in and gives
That happened to
Vinny
me too, actually.
That's right, it did. Did you
Did
know that Vinny was pickpocketed, Granny, when you wrote this story?
Yes, I knew it a long time ago.
Wow.
In fact, I saw pictures of him looking so sad in the police department.
I was sad in that
I
picture.
haven't seen those.
I'll find it for you. I was very, very sad at the police department, mainly because I just wanted to go home. It had been a very long night.
This is a WrestleMania, right?
In New York.
Oh, man. Okay, go ahead, Granny.
Okay, I'll start over then. Next was the pickpocket. He came in, gave Vinny his wallet, said, "Please don't hurt me." Vinny looked in the...
Wait. Oh, sorry. I'll let you finish, Granny. I apologize.
Okay. Vinny looked in the wallet. It was empty. Vinny grabbed the pickpocket, picked him up, turned him upside down so all the change fell out of his pocket. Then gave him a front chin lock. The pickpocket got away, started running. Vinny caught him, brought him back by the hair.
Do you have no legs?
Banged him on the apron and back in the ring. The crowd loved it. The pickpocket was screaming so loud, Vinny got distracted, so decided to give him a chokehold to shut him up. So the police came and got him.
Okay.
Wow, that's 2 wins by Vinny.
So the story here is people have wronged me. They come to apologize. I beat their ass and hold them for the authorities.
Well, Vinny, to be fair, he returned your wallet, but it was empty.
That's true.
So
there was $200 in cash.
Yeah,
so
and you turned him upside down. He had money.
Yeah.
Granny, where'd you get the idea of turning the guy upside down, shaking him, and money comes out? Was that the show that we did on Tuesday? Is that where you got that idea?
No.
Well, that's crazy
give me a
then.
break.
Well, Granny, we just this past Tuesday talked about an angle where a guy held the guy upside down and shook him, and money fell out of his pockets.
I didn't know that. That's way back. That's way back when.
Yeah, Scott Steiner didn't invent that.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, it says Vinny was relieved, thought he was through when who should walk in but Brent. He got in the ring, took the mic.
We should have known.
Started talking. Vinny listened for a while, didn't understand a word he said, went over, took the mic and threw it into the crowd. He looked at Brent and with glee said to himself, I'm going to give him a chicken over the shoulder cross face, a leg drop ankle cluck, a stop a step over arm lock and a few slaps and uppercuts. The crowd loved Brent. He looked so sad. He walked over to give Vinny a bear hug. Vinny pushed him away. The crowd went wild. After that, Vinny thought maybe Brent wasn't such a bad guy and let him leave.
So count out.
I guess so.
I want to know more about the cluck that Vinny uses to offensive weapon.
A leg drop ankle cluck.
Okay, now this other one. This is one when Cliffy and Carlos were little, they always called Vinny Goober.
That's Brian's fault. Brian coached them.
Do we all know what a goober is?
It's a peanut.
Yeah. Anyway,
Peanut?
Yeah.
Goober came into the ring. Vinny tried to pick it up, but it kept jumping out of its skin or shell. And after a few changes, it around the ring, he got
Were you drinking when you wrote this one?
He got a chance, so he gave it a slam punch and stepped on it.
A peanut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I slammed a
God
peanut.
damn, it is a peanut.
Yeah, I did all that just to make you feel good. You're all better now, Vinny.
Well, thank you, Granny.
I got all your guys for you.
You really did. I came out. I ran the gauntlet. and came out on top.
Yep.
I beat up a carjacker, a pickpocket, Brent Kremen, and a peanut.
Yep.
So to make
In that
this-
order, by the way. The peanut was the main eventer.
So yours, Granny, was about how you defeated the flu. Vinny's was how he defeated all of his rivals in life. And mine was versus guilt with a non-finish.
Oh.
Typical.
Yeah, because on yours, you didn't know if Guilt Trip was coming back or not.
You know what this sounds like, Granny? It doesn't sound like wrestling. It sounds like Vinny died. And all of the things that happened to him in life, he's getting his revenge there as he enters the pearly gates.
Or they're still on Earth and I'm haunting them.
Yeah, it could be that too. Huh. Well, good work, Granny.
He got even with them all.
Well, he did get even with them all. Do you have other ideas for future stories as well?
Yes, I do.
I hope they also have ankle clucks in them. That's all I can ask for.
I looked all those up, just the crazy ones. Anyway.
Well, anything else going on?
Over the shoulder chicken crossface at one point.
The over the shoulder chicken crossface, followed by the ankle cluck.
Yes.
A lot of chicken related moves here.
Okay.
Granny, I like that story. Thank you for writing about me.
Okay. The next one I think might be, what's his name?
What, filthy?
Yeah, Filthy.
Oh.
Oh man.
And I'm not going to tell who he's going to be against, though.
Well,
Yes.
I know what the guess would be.
We'll have to,
If we did that contest, there'd be a lot of entries saying the same thing.
Yeah, they probably would.
Okay, and I have a winner. It had to be the first one that mentioned any of those, and it was Paul Sandman Muir.
Okay.
He's the winner, so he gets $10.
Well, what did he mention?
Well, let's see, what was that? He mentioned the carjacker, and he was the first one, so
Well, he's the winner. $10 richer right now.
yeah.
Very good.
I had to give it to him because there were a couple others that, like Robert Allen said, Vinny carjacker and Swamp Thing. So he mentioned a carjacker.
Swamp Thing?
But that was after.
Huh.
So I had to take the first one.
Well, Granny, I'm very excited to hear the story that you write about Filthy Tom. You ever thought about, like, getting these stories to me and we could put them together in a book and sell them on Amazon? How about that idea?
I'm saving them.
Okay, well, save them and bring them to me next time, and I'll put them together into a booklet.
Okay.
Yeah. F4W Empire versus the World. Call it. Something like that.
Sure.
All right, anything else, Granny?
Yep.
Did you have fun this weekend at the birthday party?
That was fun.
Yeah.
So many people, though, that you don't know. It's kind of,
No. All right, anyway, well, I guess next week we'll do another fun story.
Okay. If you ever want me to quit, let me know.
All right, I'll let you know when we want you to quit doing this show.
Okay.
How would you? Never mind.
Bryan versus the guilt trip again.
Yeah.
Every week on this show.
Of course. I laughed when she said we don't know if the guilt trip will come back. Of course it will.
Of course it will.
It's
It'll
like-
never go away.
It's like Jason.
Yeah.
But if anybody wants to send me stuff about Ed, I'll try for him. But I don't know too much about Ed to be able to write
I'm
about.
sure plenty of people could give you plenty of antagonists in Ed's
And
life.
he'd be highly insulted if I didn't compliment him, though.
Yeah, so don't.
That's what I
Don't
do.
fall for this trap, Granny.
I'd get him.
All righty. All right, sounds good. We'll talk to you next week.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Adios. Well, right there was about the shortest Granny segment there's ever been.
She got right to the point, man.
So listen, next week if we do this Facebook thing again, now that it's been 3 straight weeks, hopefully people can figure this out. When Granny says, who should be Filthy Tom's opponent? Or whatever her deal is next week.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Granny, if you're listening, just go back to questions.
I'll also say that Paul, the winner there, is Scottish, so his $10 is worth 7.25 British pounds.
Well, what's that in, well, I guess, yeah.
It'd be $10.
All right. Let's do NXT.
NXT for March 7th, 2018. Show opened with a short Dusty Rhodes Classic hype video, and then we jumped right into the tournament. Authors of Pain versus TM61. So the last time they did not do a Dusty Classic in 2017 for some reason, which I didn't realize until this show. But the last Dusty Classic in 2016, this Authors of Pain TM61 was the teams that met in the finals.
That's right.
So here they're meeting in the first round. So
Well, that does ensure that these are not the finals again.
It does.
Yeah.
I love the Authors of Pain.
Yeah, they're great.
Razor, in particular, in this match, when he got the heat, we live in an era where getting the heat means now I gotta show off. I gotta get all my shit in. Razor does a takedown or a spear or a tackle, and he basically gets side control and he just hammer fists the fuck out of dudes.
Cool.
He just pummels them over and over and over and over and over. He's just there to break people, and it's awesome. So they beat Miller up for a while, and it was glorious. Thorne is the one who blew up his leg last year. He gets the hot tag. He makes his big comeback.
He actually made a really good comeback because this Authors of Pain team beat the hell out of Nick Miller so bad that I was like, there's no way they can do a comeback that will be believable. And they kind of didn't, but Shane did absolutely the best job that he could. He did this flip dive into the corner, this flying kick into the corner. It was a pretty good comeback.
Mm-hmm. So the Authors cut them off at a powerbomb neckbreaker combo. TM61 breaks up that pin. They get a near fall off a moonsault. And then it was just time to end things. Razor, from the ring, powerbombs Thorne onto the apron. Over the top rope onto the apron.
Yeah, it was... they condition you that the apron is the hardest part of the ring. Mm-hmm. But, he just powerbombed the guy. Yeah. But because he powerbombed him over the top rope onto the apron and then he fell to the floor... It was very devastating looking.
Oh, yeah.
But not that bad.
And then Akam suplexed Miller into the turnbuckles, which also looked brutal. And the Authors hit the Lariat leg sweep combo for the win. That match ruled.
Yeah, Authors of Pain dominating their way to the next round.
Yeah, a definitive. There's no question who the better team was in this night. I went on Twitter and said this was as great a 5-minute TV match you see in 2018, TV tag match. And everyone was like, that was not 5 minutes, dude. And I looked it up. It was 8 minutes. It flew by.
Yeah.
I love this match.
People actually timed it after you tweeted that?
Well, I looked it up.
Okay.
They said, I thought it was longer. I looked it up. Regardless, it was great. You should go watch it.
I still think that there's something about TM61 that's missing.
They're still two dudes.
Yeah, they did a lot with those personality packages to kind of make you care.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you care when you're watching the personality packages, but then when they actually get in the ring,
it's two dudes.
You stop caring again.
Yes.
It's still just two guys. I don't know what they can do. Like, they're not bad.
No, they're good.
Maybe one guy needs to grow his hair long, or one guy needs to do something.
They need a charisma and intensity infusion.
Yeah, but they have charisma when you watch those videos.
Right.
They don't have any in-ring charisma.
Yes, yeah.
That's what they need. I don't know how to get it.
I don't either. I don't know if it's something you can develop or coach. William Regal was doing a press conference.
He was. I think he just arrived and there were a bunch of guys there with those deals. Because he answered like one question, was like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
I was like, this is a lame press conference.
I like the question, who are the favorites in the Dusty Rhodes Classic?
Yeah.
Like he's going to answer that.
Yeah.
So he leaves.
Have you ever been to like a UFC press conference?
That's fair.
These were not the stupidest questions I've ever heard.
That's fair. So he leaves, but they're right by the front door. Up walks Pete Dunne in street clothes. And I cannot begin to approximate his outfit except to say somehow it looked exactly what he dressed up Pete Dunne should look like.
Yeah.
It was amazing. So before he can really say anything, Roderick Strong interrupts. And Roddy's all dressed up with a toque. And he congratulates Pete on his win, but says he's coming back with a title or something. Adam Coleman interrupts, says that's another big loss for a big match Roddy can lose. But then Dunn gets in Cole's face and says, "You're one to talk. You haven't won anything since you've been here." So they're all sniping at each other. Regal returns to make peace, and everyone goes their separate ways.
I do like that when Undisputed Era first debuted, they just beat the shit out of everybody backstage. And then William Regal was like, I'm laying the law down. You can be here. No more beating up everybody backstage. So here comes Dad. He says, is there a problem back here? Yeah. And they're like, no. They all walk off.
Yeah.
It's like, man, how times have changed. William Regal, a strong, powerful leader.
Yes.
Laid down the law.
Yes.
We need more of that in wrestling. Unlike Red Shoes. I'll get to him later. This fucking guy.
Eric Young and Sanity did a promo backstage. They were all cackling and crazy and wacky. They promised Chaos would win.
Alexander Wolf is a weird-looking dude.
Yes.
Is he not?
And he embraces it.
Yeah.
He's found a hairstyle and a fashion choice and facial expressions that all highlight his weirdest features. He's a caricature of himself. Bianca Belair versus Drew Renee. Why is that so hard to say? Bianca Belair.
I don't know. Bianca Belair.
Versus Drew Renee.
Miss Drew Renee.
Excuse me, Miss Drew Renee.
Yeah.
She was a short, anonymous geek.
Oh, my God. I don't want to make fun of her too bad because, like, she had one job here, which was to do the job in, like, 10 seconds. But listen to me. If your job is to be a professional wrestler and you cannot believably assume a fighting stance, you should not fucking be in the ring. She was standing there.
Yeah.
Put her fists up like this.
She did. She put up her dukes.
Yeah, and just kind of stood there all awkward. Like she'd never done any sport.
Yeah.
Anything athletic, ever been in a fight, ever been in any physical confrontation in her life. I was like, why is she in the ring? They don't have any other girl there that they could have be a jobber that's at least like a little bit believable. She did a deer in the headlights.
She hit her fighting stance, and Bianca like stopped and stepped back and just eyeballed her like, what the fuck is this? Bianca won with a follow-away powerbomb. Christy St. Cloud interviewed Lacey Evans.
Okay, so is Lacey like a pinup movie star from the 50s or a fucking Marine? Because I cannot believably, conflate the two.
Yeah. There was a lot wrong with this.
It was so weird.
It was a very weird promo. I think she was trying to also be a Southern belle, but she kept falling in and out of her accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what is she?
That's a good question. I don't have an answer. She's trying to be about 4 different things at once and not succeeding at any of them.
Why can't she just be a Marine? And like a tough ass kicker?
That would be fine with me.
She has her hair up like she's,
Betty
in
Page.
The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, yeah.
It's weird.
So she threatens Dakota Kai next week, and then Shayna Baszler steps up, and Lacey makes a hasty exit. Shayna says she has been challenging Ember Moon for weeks now, and all she has gotten is silence. Which she guesses is the answer. Oh, heavy machinery.
This is so amazing.
They're exercising.
Yeah.
By which I mean...
They're not working out. They're old school exercising.
Yes.
They've got weights and they're doing weird shit.
Tucker Knight is pulling the sled. Otis is sitting on the sled doing curls. And Tucker, while pulling the sled, is cutting a promo. And he's saying generic pro wrestler things. We're getting ready for the Dusty Rhodes Classic. And whatever he says, Otis, while doing curls, just belts out, "Oh yeah!" Like a big jacked up bushwhacker. And this went on 3 or 4 times, and it ended.
But Otis's exercise is he's in the back of a sled, standing there being pulled, and he's doing like hammer curls this way,
Sure.
like not in front of him, like they're in front of his body. I was at the gym the other day.
You saw Otis Dozovich?
No, I was on the treadmill. I got a point about this, Otis Dozovich. I'm on the treadmill, or the elliptical upstairs, and you can look down and see the entire gym. So it's like prime people watching.
Sure.
Hot girls, weird-looking dudes, the whole 9 yards.
Sounds like NXT.
Yeah. So there's a guy, and he's so fucking skinny. And listen, I grew up watching WWF. A skinny geek.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Can't possibly be in shape being that skinny.
I see.
This fucking guy is down there. He is doing burpees into pull-ups. So you do a burpee, you jump up, you do a pull-up, you come down, you do a burpee.
Okay.
A's is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Let's just get to that.
9. No, 10, 11. I gotta do it one at a time if you understand how hard this is.
Okay.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? 17, 18, 19, 20. It goes up to 26.
Oh.
I was like, holy fucking shit. That's the strongest guy in this whole fucking gym. There's all these weird guys. There's like the 50-year-olds are all, juiced up and they're wearing like a tank top and have the fake lats and they're just all weird. You know what I mean? There's so many weird people in the gym. And then there's this skinny fucking guy who's just like belting out these burpee. But anyway, the point is, he was doing just a weird ass workout. It wasn't just those. Like, then he went over and he was doing like these really fast lat pulls like this, standing up, just doing all this crazy weird shit. And the point is, you always see like a weird looking guy doing these weird exercises. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You never see a guy like Otis doing that. A guy like Otis is in there and he's just doing deadlifts. Or he's just doing squats. But I just love the idea that he's a huge, strong fucking guy, and he's the guy standing on the sled doing weird-ass hammer curls. I loved it. That's my speech.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love it because heavy machinery is awesome. I didn't need any outside context.
Well, now you got it.
Yeah.
Now for all of you that work out, that actually work out, you'll understand why I love Otis Dozovich. That man was made by God for this business and nothing else.
That's true.
Thank you.
That is true.
If they ever cut this fucker, I lose all faith in Hunter. All faith.
Okay.
Like him as a successor to Vince McMahon, I lose all faith if this guy gets cut. This man was made for this business.
Preaching to the choir, bud.
Thank you.
Tommaso Ciampa came out. I guess technically you would call this a promo.
Hey, this was the best promo I ever saw where no one said anything.
Yes.
Even Roman said something after he beat The Undertaker. Remember when he came out there after WrestleMania? He did this exact same thing. Came out after WrestleMania, didn't say a word for like 10 minutes. The heat just escalated.
I do remember now.
And then finally just says, "This is my yard."
Yeah.
Ciampa never said a word.
No. And to add to it, he didn't even have any music when he came out.
Nope.
He just walked out on stage. Everyone starts booing. Crowd is mostly chanting, "We want Johnny." A few of them chanting, "Johnny sucks." And a few of them chanting, "Psycho Killer." But 90% of them loved Johnny Gargano and hated Tommaso Ciampa. So he gets in the ring, and he looks at him, and he teases talking, and they all boo, so he stops. And he teases leaving, and they all cheer, so he stops. And he teases talking, and they all boo. And this goes on and on and on. He slams his crutch down, and he starts walking around ringside. He's staring at the fans. I was actually certain that one of these fans was going to be a plant, and he's going to kill him. Nope.
Hey, there's still time.
There's still time. He tore a sign away, a Johnny Gargano sign. He took this sign and he tore it up, and based on the crowd reaction, you would have thought he tore the head off a live puppy. He hated this sign tearing. He smashed his crutch over the torn up sign. Just destroyed this crutch, by the way. This is a fine crutch destruction. And finally, he just goes up on stage. Now, everyone is chanting for Johnny Wrestling. And then he just left. This was very effective.
This is not a spoiler because I actually don't know. They've done all of the tapings leading into the TakeOver show, and there was nothing in front of the crowd that indicated that there was going to be... There was an angle, like a quick angle, but there was like no announcement that it's Ciampa versus Gargano at TakeOver. Mm-hmm. I mean, I presume that they're going to make that match, like Regal will make it backstage or something like that. But point of this is, Ciampa can move. He's got a big-ass leg brace on, but he does not need that crutch.
No.
He was running. He was getting out of the ring. He was walking around. He was doing the whole 9 yards.
Looks great.
They can do a match. We'll see when they do it.
Main event was Alistair Black versus Killian Dain, which I said last week felt like a TakeOver match, and here it is on this show. So I was wrong. It did feel way too soon. Although that being said, once this match was done... There will be better matches on TakeOver. The first minute was pretty good. The last minute was outstanding. The 67 minutes in the middle were nothing.
I hate to say this. I love Alistair Black, but the wrong guy won this match. There was a moment near the end where Alistair makes this great comeback, kicks, lion salts, etc. Dain cuts him off, and he hits him with this fucking move.
Beat the fuck out of him.
He throws him over his shoulder like he's gonna do a power slam, but then kind of like sort of does a forward power slam, but also like leaves his feet and lands with his shoulder and all of his weight on Alistair Black.
Sort of an Alabama slam?
No, it was like a power slam, but like you flip onto the guy when doing it. Like, you don't just slam him, you go with him.
Yes, and bounce off him with your shoulder.
And DDT yourself, basically. And yeah, he just fucking crushes this guy. Then he hits him with a senton and kills him dead. Then he hits him with a Vader bomb, and Alistair Black kicked out. And I was like, that's fake, okay? Hulk Hogan in his prime would not have kicked out of that. Inoki wouldn't have kicked out of that. Like
Mil
Mascaras would have laid down for that fucking sequence right there. Alistair Black kicks out and then just kicks him and wins.
That's exactly what happened.
Don't do that much if the other guy is gonna win. That's too much. That's all I got to say. It was too much.
You actually left out what may have been the most violent move when he did the wasteland like Wade Barrett, and he tried to slam him through the mat.
Oh my God!
These 4 or 5 moves in a row that Alistair Black took. I don't care what the finish had been booked as, I would have just laid down. I don't want to get up. I'm in too much pain. But yes, he popped up and he countered the one-winged angel and hit a black mass out of nowhere for the win.
Yeah. I just didn't buy it. If it would have been a TakeOver match and like Black would have hit more and then beat him, that'd be one thing. But like that sequence, he just kicks out of it and then kicks the guy for the win. I could not suspend my disbelief. That was fake.
So they're still saying Black is, this is a quote, undefeated as a singles competitor. Because you see he was pinned in a 4-way.
Yeah.
So I suppose...
That's cheating.
Technically they're correct, but come on now.
That's cheating.
He got beat.
I like the match.
I like the match. It was not as good as the opener, but a very, very good wrestling TV show.
And obviously Alistair Black is going to be he's going to be challenging for the title, so it's babyface versus heel.
Yeah.
So Killian
It'd
Dain,
be awesome.
couldn't win, but man, I love Killian Dain.
He is, yeah.
And you know what I love about Killian Dain?
Tell me, Brian.
I will tell you, Vinny. He is a big fat guy who does not try to be a cruiserweight.
No.
He is a big fat guy who tries to be a big fat guy and uses his big fat body as a weapon.
He sure does.
We need more guys like this. I don't like to see fat guys flying. Like, it's cool every now and then, but like, when you're a big, powerful fat guy, like, that sequence he did was awesome. It was absolutely phenomenal because he's a big fat guy who uses his fatness as an atomic weapon.
You have just designed the ultimate wrestling shirt.
I love this.
Fat guy who uses fatness as a weapon.
I love this fat guy. Be proud of your fatness if you're that fat. Don't try to be who you're not.
Apparently he is.
Yeah.
He does not, I guess he tans a little bit, but he does not shave.
Hey, he's fucking hairy.
He's hairy.
He knows that he's
fat.
an ugly heel, and he just plays it up to the hilt.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this business needs. You know where this business came from? The carnivals. The giant,
Yeah.
the short guy, the fat guy, the guy with 2 fucking heads, okay?
We do need more two-headed wrestlers.
That's what people pay to see. Not a bunch of normal-looking, regular-sized, short-haired, brown-haired guys.
That is true.
Thank you.
We talked about TM61 being 2 dudes.
No one's paying to see 2 dudes.
Killian Dain is not 2 dudes.
They're paying to see a guy like Killian Dain and Alistair Black.
Yeah.
Alistair Black looks like a guy that would, put a sword down his throat.
And fucking heavy machinery.
Yeah, heavy machine. Fucking, well, not both of them, but I mean,
Otis
Dozovich.
Otis is not
straight out of the carnivals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bianca Belair's got the long ass ponytail.
That's true.
World's longest ponytail.
Sure.
Coming to a fairground near you. That's what this business needs. And you know what else this business needs, Vinny?
What's that, Brian?
Minoru Suzuki.
Well, that's true. This business this world needs Minoru Suzuki. So we watched 2 matches from the New Japan 46th anniversary
Final
show.
2 matches.
The final 2 matches. March 6th, 2018. Minoru Suzuki versus, I believe it's Togi Makabe.
Togi Makabe.
Makabe. So this match began with a bar fight. The bell rang and they just started pummeling each other. And eventually, Suzuki wraps Makabe's leg around the post and goes to work. And it was awesome because, well, Suzuki's he is awesome at everything he does. And he can do everything and do it in an awesome manner. But he starts off being this, like I say, it's an ugly bar fight. But as soon as he gets the advantage, now he's a technical wizard. And it's time for the night of 8,000 knee bars. And it was great.
Gotta say, this Red Shoes, God bless the guy. I actually think he's a great ref, but they make him look like a fucking idiot. So Suzuki goes outside and he gets a chair. And Makabe's leg is wrapped around the post. And Suzuki is going to take the chair and whack his leg with it. Red Shoes gets behind the guy and he tries to take the chair away. That chair's not allowed in this match. What does Suzuki do? Shoves Red Shoes right on his ass, takes the chair, and whacks the guy in the leg anyway.
Yeah.
Could you make your ref look more impotent?
Well.
And then, this happens all the time, by the way. This is not an isolated incident. Then, Red Shoes gets up. Suzuki's got the chair. This time, Red Shoes actually goes, 1, 2, 3. And Suzuki drops the chair. And do you know what the audience did when this fucking guy finally stood up for himself and enforced the rules? They applauded. Mm-hmm. Lo and behold. Been waiting for that spot for a year now.
So the story of the match was Makabe was no match for Suzuki, but he was going to go in there and give it his all, and so the fans loved him. Even though everyone knew he was going to lose, including Suzuki for sure, probably Makabe himself. So they're doing the fighting spirit, trading elbows in the ring. And the way this was put together was to make it clear to you, the viewer, that going elbow for elbow with Minoru Suzuki in the middle of the ring is the stupidest thing a pro wrestler can do.
Yeah. And Makabe's a stupid guy.
He is a stupid man.
He tried. He tried.
He tried, but I mean, he would take this devastating elbow and the slap would echo out of the building. He'd drop to his face, not to his knees. He would drop to his face. And then he would finally fight to his feet and fire back with an elbow of his own. And he was, I know he was specifically not throwing them as hard as he could. Because the story was he was no match for Suzuki. And he was making sure that he was no match for Suzuki, and then Suzuki would kill him again. He dropped down to his face. So we had Makabe made a comeback, did the spider suplex out of the corner, which was a cool move. Then he missed a top rope knee drop, which meant more knee bars. And Suzuki hit the dropkick to the face. And then, this is a key point in the match, and just a brilliant little thing that makes pro wrestling more believable and sport-like. Because we've been watching this match for 15, 20 minutes now at this point. It's very clear that Minoru Suzuki is overwhelming him, and frankly, there's no way he should lose this. But he has one weakness, and that is an obsession with his gotch pile driver. He will weaken a man with a sleeper, and once the man is weakened, he must go for the gotch pile driver. No matter the size advantage or size difference, how difficult it may be to reach around a man's torso and hook him through the legs, he's got to hit this move. So he gave up the advantage to try for this pile driver, and Makabe made another comeback, and then finally Suzuki cut him off again, and he hit the gotch pile driver, and he won.
You're downplaying this fight for the gotch pile driver they first did. They had the most amazing fight ever. Suzuki, he goes to hook it, and he just holds on to the guy, and the crowd just starts to... Their anticipation is building.
Yes.
And literally, they're there for like a good 30 seconds, and it goes from Makabe's on his feet to Makabe's on his toes to Makabe has 1 foot off the ground to Makabe does a tiny little jump. All of that, every little movement, the place goes crazy. Makabe gets away. What does he do for his comeback? He's chopping the guy. Karate chopping him. Not just a regular chop. Suzuki slaps him to death, drop kicks his knee again, hits a sleeper, gotch pile driver for the win. Minoru Suzuki already in the Hall of Awesome. I decree that he be placed in the fucking awesome wing of the Hall of Awesome. Just want to make that clear. He's the best. 49
I was just
going to
say he's 49.
49 years old. And this guy didn't have an easy career.
No.
Pancras in
Yes.
pro wrestling. He's been knocked out. He's had real fights. Been brutalized. Here he is, 49 years old. He's one of the 5 best workers on the entire planet right now in 2018. Maybe one of the top 2, for all I know.
I was watching this thinking, I know they obviously right now they're Okada's having the greatest world championship reign in company history. But I watched this and thought, this is the man that needs to beat Okada. 49-year-old Minoru Suzuki needs to be the next young lion to take over.
Don't know if that's going to happen, but
I don't either. But he's awesome. He is fucking awesome. So then he cuts a promo. Of course, we didn't understand it, but the announcers suggest, or more or less translated and said that the 4 Suzuki-gun members in the New Japan Cup, one of them was going to win the tournament. And then Minoru started killing referees because he's awesome.
yeah,
Great.
I like this guy.
Yeah. He can be in every show. I'm fine with that. And the main event, Kazuchika Okada versus Will Ospreay. The junior champion against the heavyweight champion.
Kazuchika.
That's how he said it to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I stand by that till the day I die.
That is how he said it. So,
yes.
yeah.
He said his own fucking name. That's how it's pronounced.
We'll take it from him. So this is one of the great things about New Japan, and there's a lot of them, but every match is different. This was nothing at all like the match that had followed it. They started just doing nothing but cradle. Well, there's a few minutes of basic mat work, and they started doing cradles and counters and near falls and reversals and teasing finishers. It felt like the stuff you normally see 20 minutes into a match in the first 3 minutes. None of it worked, and they restarted. So the story is Okada's running wild through the planet, basically. He's looking for new competition. He challenged the junior heavyweight champion. So the junior heavyweight champion accepted. He came into this match as the underdog and wrestled like it. He was wrestling from behind most of the way through, taking a solid beating, and then finally had a chance to run wild on the floor with a springboard off the barricade, space flying tiger drop, which is just fun to say. Okada beat his ass, tried to win via ref stoppage, just a big top rope elbow, and then elbowed the fuck out of him, and then backed off, hoping the ref would just stop the match. Ospreay made another comeback. He caught him off the ropes with a C4, then the implosion 450, which if you don't know what it is, it's a 450 where you're facing outside the ring.
It's a reverse 450.
Yeah. He kept going for the Os cutter, which is the springboard cutter, and every time he tried it, Okada would counter it in a different way. One time he tried it, and Okada caught him in a Cobra Clutch. One time he tried it, and Okada hit his dropkick to the head.
This fucking Cobra Clutch, by the way.
Not a fan?
Dude, he's trying so hard to get this over. It ain't over in the slightest. He's been trying for months and months and months and months to get this move over. Nobody cares. Even against Ospreay.
Yeah.
They're like, you ain't even beating Ospreay with that move. It's Cobra Clutch. And yes, he did hit his dropkick earlier. He always hits one dropkick each match. And Dave and I had debated this dropkick. Well, we didn't debate it. His opinion was Suzuki got up higher than Okada. Because he said Suzuki kicked Makabe in the face. Okada kicked Ospreay in the chest.
Okay.
Here's the problem. The problem is Suzuki did kick the guy in the face, but Suzuki's feet were higher than his own body.
Sure.
So he had to go up. Okada jumped 50 feet in the air.
And kicked down.
And basically stomped on the guy. Yeah. So I believe that Okada had a much higher dropkick.
They're both awesome.
Even though one guy's feet technically got up higher on his opponent.
Okada's center of gravity was higher.
Yes. Point of this is, he hit his move, which he only hits once per match, but then he got it a second time when Ospreay went for the Os Cutter. So that was awesome, because you were not expecting a second drop kick.
No, because he does not spam his moves. So Ospreay never did hit this fucking Os Cutter. He kept trying and failing. And finally, the last one, there was one where Okada caught him and hit a tombstone. And then at the end, he caught him, hit a spinning tombstone, and then the Rainmaker and pinned him.
Yeah.
And this was a great match. It was a great main event. But by Okada's standards,
dude, he's done this to himself.
He has. He has raised the bar for himself impossibly high. He cannot match his own threshold of greatness.
No.
Like, a 4-star match for Okada feels like a 1-star match for anyone else.
Okada has achieved an inconceivable level to me. And that is that he is smoother than Shawn Michaels. I did not think that that was possible. I have been watching wrestling for decades. I've seen all sorts of great wrestlers. I've seen all sorts of great workers. I have never seen anybody in my life as smooth as Shawn Michaels. Until Okada has now come along. This fucking guy is so smooth. Shawn would have these matches where, like, it looked like he wasn't even trying, and he was having a great match.
Yeah.
Okada looks like he's trying even less and is having better matches.
Yes. That's a good way to put it.
Do you remember, like, in the mid-90s when Shawn was having all those great matches, but if something went wrong, he'd have a tantrum in the middle of the ring?
A few times.
Fucking nothing ever goes wrong in Okada matches. Okada wrestles every guy. It doesn't matter. This is not WWE, okay? In WWE, everybody works the same style.
Right.
Everybody. That's another reason I love Killian Dain. If you're a little guy in WWE, you work the same style as if you're a big fat guy in WWE.
Yes.
You're all going to have your one dive. You're all going to blah, 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 blah. In New Japan, everybody works a different style. Okada wrestles every fucking one of these guys, and he has a great match working a different style.
He works their styles.
Yeah,
yes.
It doesn't matter who you are. He's going to work your match, and it's going to be well above 4 stars. Often, it will even be above 5.
Yes.
So, this guy, I'm convinced, is the single best pro wrestler of all time. I'm not saying like he's the best. Like, Ric Flair is the greatest performer of all time. If you put together, like, his interviews, his matches, the fucking musical chairs that Flair did, all that other shit, there will never be another Ric Flair, okay? He's the best of all time. If you want to talk, like, the most charismatic wrestler of all time, probably The Rock. But, like, the best in-ring wrestler of all time, it has to be Okada. Who's better? Nobody.
I said that the last time I watched an Okada match. It's one of those things where I don't think people kind of appreciate what's happening at the moment.
No, you're living through a history right now.
Yes. This will be remembered forever, everyone. I mean, it took, I'm trying to think of an equivalent, like, it took several championships for people to stop doubting Michael Jordan. For a long time, there was question marks about Michael Jordan. And then he won 6 titles in the 6 years that he played, and if people stopped doubting him. That's what Okada's doing now, everyone. He's being the best.
Yeah, he's
Ever.
in the middle of the greatest run there's ever been in pro wrestling.
Yeah.
And we're in the middle of watching it right now.
Yes.
I hope it doesn't end soon.
There's no sign of it ending.
I mean, someday it's gonna. It's gonna be a sad day.
At some point, you can't be perfect forever, can you? I can't.
I mean, I've been trying, but
Yeah.
it's very difficult.
Okada's better than you.
Yeah.
Yeah. At some point, I hesitate to even say this. He may have a bad match.
Oh, get out of here. Never. Never.
Or he may not.
He will not have a bad match. I don't even think he could have a bad match if he tried as hard as he could.
I don't think so either.
If you could put him in there with like Jinder or somebody like that, you know the kind of match this guy could have with Jinder?
That would be awesome.
I just wish like half these WWE guys could go to New Japan just to watch him have a great match with Okada. He'd pull it out of anybody.
It would be excellent.
All right. Well, that's it, everybody, today.
Yeah, go watch those matches. We watched two shows.
And this wasn't even like the best New Japan show of the year. This was just like their anniversary show. Yeah. It's just a random 3-hour show. Mm-hmm. And these last two matches were awesome. And Fastlane Sunday, so we can...
I'm sure that'll be just
have the good old-fashioned Dave comparison here. I don't think Fastlane's going to be as good as these two matches, just to make everybody mad. Hey, we got no board for 2 days, so I may as well make everybody mad now, because I won't have to read about it.
That's true.
Anyway, also Sunday, Filthy's going to be joining us, because he actually tonight was at MLW. They flew him in just to corner somebody, even though he has a broken arm. So there was no Filthy show yesterday, but he'll be on Sunday, so you can look forward to that. And lots of great stuff. Check it out. That's it. We'll talk to you again after a while.
Adios.